Remember, it is the NBA All-Star Weekend today. Starts today and it ends definitely on Sunday, where we have the All-Star game on the 20th of February. And it's Cleveland that is hosting this year's edition of the All-Star game. But let's start with NBA action, talking about the 75th anniversary season of the NBA. You had the defending champions Milwaukee Bucks in action last night, or rather the wee hours of today, and it was against the Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid leading with 42 points to edge the Bucks. It was meant to be like some sort of, cap to the All-Star game, but it wasn't to be for Giannis Antetokounmpo, 32 points. Embiid led them with 42, I beg your pardon, talking about the 76ers, and they nicked it 123 to 120 points. Okay,
it was clear that the 76ers didn't want to go into the All-Star week,
yes,
with a losing streak, rather. You know, they lost their previous match, and
Celtic?
It was most like a beat down. You know, so they had to do everything possible to come back, and you could see that they came back from a 15-point
deficit.
Yes, at first. So you could see that there was fight, and other players supported Embiid. Embiid had a bad game, their previous match, but you could see that he put in the work. 42 points, 14 rebounds, yes. And you could also see, I think somebody else scored 19 points on their team.
Yes. Harris, yes.
So you could see that it's something that they wanted to go into. I don't know what happened to the Bucks. I don't know, but it was actually a close game.
Yes,
right,
clearly contested.
Yes, and Giannis too, also made a statement. But I think at the end of the day, Embiid was the man of the match. Yeah.
Okay, talking about culture, talking about things not being right with a particular franchise, we'll have to go to the Western Conference and stay with Los Angeles. This time, not the Clippers, but the Lakers, who are also struggling. 27 wins, 31 losses to the start of the season. It's been LeBron James all the way carrying the team through. Do not mention Russell Westbrook. Most Lakers fans do not even want to hear the name at this time. But the sad news from the Lakers franchise is that Anthony Davis, the power forward, will be out for at least 4 weeks due to a mid-foot sprain when he suffered the injury during the victory over Utah Jazz at the wee hours of yesterday. Good news was that the test results came out negative regards a fracture, but finally it's a mid-foot sprain. 4 weeks out, and after the 4 weeks, it will now be reevaluated. It means that Davis could miss as many as 14, 15 games. Okay, let's rush quickly now to Cleveland, and that's definitely about the All-Star weekend. We'll be previewing the matches, the NBA All-Star precisely. Team LeBron, Team Durant, but Durant definitely isn't playing due to his injury. What do you expect from the team? It's a star-studded team as always. I mean, it's the All-Star game, but it seems Team LeBron, they're healthier and they're more stacked in terms of talent and form than Team Durant.
Okay, yes, and with the fact that KD will not be
lining
on the pitch
up
again, that's a blow, right? So, Team LeBron is going to feast on them.
Okay.
Right, but again, you can't take away anything from these young dudes. You have Ja, you have Trae Young there.
Definitely,
these guys can shoot and they can hoop. Right, you have Embiid also. So there is not is the only sad thing for me about the All-Star game is that there are a lot of top players that are missing.
Okay.
So that's the only sad thing. The injury has been crazy.
Yes.
So. But notwithstanding, I will go with my Team LeBron because of Steph Curry.
Now, look at Team LeBron. It's stacked. You have Giannis, you have Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time. You have DeMar DeRozan, who is playing out of his wits at this point in time, just eclipsed Will Chamberlain's record.
Yes.
Nikola Jokic reigning, MVP regular season. Jimmy Butler. I mean, it's when you compare to what Team Durant has now, fans are still asking, is there still a need to really watch the game in terms of how competitive it should be? Last year's edition, it got down to Damian Lillian's, three-pointer from halfway line. Do you think this would actually go down the wire?
I don't think so. But hey, you have Ja there, right? So yes, I have a little faith. I think the only reason why reason why this might not be so competitive is because KD will not be on the pitch, and there is too much superpower on LeBron's team, and it's just so much.
The roster is
so much. So again, even if they lose, it will be because of lack of effort, right? Not because they can't really beat down Team KD. So really, but again, it's something to really look forward to. Yes. Especially the young guys on the young guns on KD's team.
Now let's take some business news quickly, talking about sports business news, and we'll start definitely with Super Bowl 56, which is still in the air in terms of various revenues that it's generating across various states. Now, the latest about the Super Bowl 56 that took place on Sunday is that spectators at Super Bowl 56 spent an average of $167 across general concessions, premium dining, and merchandise sales at SoFi Stadium, where the Los Angeles Rams triumphed 23-20 points over the Cincinnati Bengals at their home ground. This year's Super Bowl set records in food, drink, and merchandise sales, marking a 14% increase on the previous record, which was set in San Francisco during the 2016 Super Bowl. The 2022 Super Bowl also generated more than $18 million in revenue through its activities at the Super Bowl and Pro Bowl. These included sales at both event venues, as well as additional Super Bowl retail pop-up stores, plus hotel locations throughout the host cities of Los Angeles and Las Vegas. Elsewhere, the Super Bowl also saw increased betting activity in New Jersey, with punters gambling more than $143.7 million during the game, up 22.4% on the $117.4 million wagered last season. Yet another report estimates the true cost of the Beijing Winter Olympics that is ongoing as $8.8 billion, and that's according to the Financial Times analysis. Now, that's more than twice China's original projected number of about $3.9 billion. Construction projects related to the Games, including venues and the Olympic Village, were originally planned to cost about $1.5 billion, but China ended up spending twice that. Transportation ended up costing about $4 billion, though the IOC claimed those costs weren't necessarily counted as specific Olympics projects, but rather as general infrastructure. Additional costs included making artificial snow and preparing COVID-19 preventions as well. And that's it when it comes to, the sports business news at this time. Now, let's delve into the Super Bowl, and that's as quickly as possible. Remember, the Super Bowl 56, as I said, might have ended on Sunday when the Rams won the title, but it's all about the various revenues it's generating. And this time around, we'll be looking at a breakdown of the winning allowance of, the various teams. Now, it must be said that it's not just the Rams who are going home with rings. You also have the runner-up, that's the Cincinnati Bengals, also going up with rings. So let's delve quickly to the Los Angeles Rams, and it's as regards their prize money. So you have the winning allowance, which is $150,000. Now, this is a surprise because the Super Bowl generated roughly $14.6 billion. I'll take that again. $14.6 billion was what the Super Bowl generated. But surprisingly, the winning team, each player goes home with $150,000, which is a $20,000 increase from last year's winning bonus, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went home with $130,000. That's quite surprising. But next year's champions will get more, as the NFL's contract stipulates that there should be an annual increase in the bonus, and next year's payout will rise to $157,000 per player. By 2030, the winning teams will be going on with $228,000. So players on the team's active and inactive list who have only been on the roster for less than 3 games are only entitled to half of that money. And we also have players who get injured during the regular season getting half of the money as well. So lots of money in the Super Bowl, but surprisingly, you have the winning team not getting as much as you would expect. Talking about the runner-up now, that's Cincinnati Bengals for this year's edition of the Super Bowls. Each Bengal player went home with $75,000 each. $75,000, I beg your pardon, which is a $10,000 increase from last season. And you also have division playoff players earning $42,500, which is up from $33,000 last year, while conference champions went home with $65,000, which is a $6,000 increase from last season. Now, let's delve quickly to the rings, talking about the Super Bowl rings, and you'll be surprised as well at the cost of a particular ring. Now, it's not just the winners who go on with rings as well. You also have the runner-up going on with rings, and a ring costs between $30,000 to $50,000.